Here is a list of things that I refuse to do with my kids that you will not convince me to do. Starting out strong, you will not convince me to spank my children. I'm not hitting my kids, I'm not popping them. Like, I'm not doing that, okay? You aren't going to convince me to. You aren't going to convince me to turn my kids around in their car seat before they're 2. Hopefully they can reface longer, but yeah, you're not convincing me to turn them around. Even though it's legal to turn them around at 1 here, which is insane. But yeah, you're not convincing me to turn them around. You will not convince me to sleep train my kids, especially cry it out. Absolutely not. Not in this household. No. You will not convince me to leave my kids with anyone that I don't trust 100%. Which means that we only trust 2 people with our kids. But no, you're not going to convince me to leave my kids with you just because we're family and like you raised kids. No, I'm not doing it. You will not convince me to force feed my kids. If they're not hungry, they're not hungry. You will not convince me that my kids refusing to hug or kiss you or sit in your lap is disrespectful. We're not doing that. If they don't want to do that, they don't want to do that, okay? You will not convince me to force my children to be religious. We're not doing that in this house. You will not convince me to do Santa or the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy either. You are not going to convince me to lie to my kids about your habits just so they don't know that you smoke or drink or whatever. No. If they ask me why you're going outside and they can't go, if my kids ask why you're going outside and they can't go with you, I'm gonna tell them it's because you're smoking and it stinks. Like, I'm not sugarcoating that. You will not convince me to do detachment style parenting. I am very much an attachment style mother, and you will not convince me to do it any other way. You will not convince me to stop breastfeeding my kids before 2 unless they decide to self-wean, but you are not going to convince me to wean my kids. You will also not convince me to not use the proper terms for body parts. They're gonna know the correct words.